Don't you know we all cheer for Magnus Danger D?
Ladies and gentlemen, fabulous listeners of the Onwards to Victory podcast, I'm extremely excited because today I have a very, very special guest. His name is all over the Edinburgh Fringe. I cannot wait for this. It's going to be a very exciting podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incomparable Reuben Key.
K.
What?
It's Reuben K. I don't understand how you could get that wrong. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. I'm on TV.
Sorry. Yeah.
And you couldn't even be bothered to do the research. I'm here sitting next to someone else's coffee. This doesn't even have a stand.
Well,
I'm sitting next to you, who looks like you should be standing 501 meters away from a primary school with a bag of really shit candy. I don't understand why am I getting paid for this?
Your agent said that you were going to help us with starting out. And
I'm sorry, I do not believe in helping people out in the arts. It is a one-way street. Ayn Rand was right. I have to go. I have a better gig. And by a better gig, I mean a vet appointment. Goodbye.
Small time shit. Look, fuck, you just told me I got his name wrong? You fucking serious? Do you know how long we had to fucking go with this agent to make this happen? Who's our backup? Who's our backup interview? Have we got a backup for this? Aidan Sadler.
Mangus Danga Mangus, as I live and breathe. Speaking of paragons of virtue, how the fuck are you?
I'm fabulous. And I'm very, very excited to have you sitting, on the chair next to me as we begin to have a conversation about this. So we're going to talk today about whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to get a little bit spicy.
Okay.
Because there's going to be a bit spicy. And you're something of a spicy individual.
I've known you long enough. You wake up in the morning at a moderate spice. I feel like you're definitely like jalapeno when you wake up.
Yeah, and then we move up to habanero. The first about 20 minutes when I wake up, the brain doesn't come on.
What do you do?
I blink. I do a lot of blinking. Yeah, for about 10 minutes.
Staring in a mirror, having a lovely, refreshing blink.
Well, I just
for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of blinking is that?
Yeah, I have to remember that the ghost that drives the skeleton inside this meat puppet hurtling through space.
The vehicle that brings your brain from room to room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to reacquaint myself with it every morning because I don't know.
It must be hard for you. It must be very hard for you.
Oh, can you see that from here?
Yeah. It must be furious.
It goes. Is
the blinking redirecting the blood from your genitals to your brain?
I try and get something going on, anything above the neck, any kind of
Mangus
activity.
Danga Mangus. Yeah. I try to get something going on. Is that a quote that we're going to be using for the podcast?
The Mangus Danga Mangus.
I'm going to get something going on.
Oh, we're going to definitely get something going on.
Do you want to get something going on now?
Let's get something going on,
yeah.
baby. Yeah. The closer you're talking to the mic, the sexier it gets. Have you noticed?
You're going to have my Fenty lip gloss all over this microphone. And it's a lip plumper. So the next person that you have on, it'll probably be another Caucasian. And you'll really sort of emphasize their tiny little lips.
Are you suggesting that there's a bunch of Caucasians doing podcasts?
I wouldn't accuse you of that,
It's a pretty
Mangus.
white thing to do, I got to say.
This is the most Caucasian thing that I've done today.
I just heard recently, this is the highest honor that a straight white guy can bestow upon someone is to invite them onto their podcast.
I feel honored. I feel really honored. What do you want to talk about? Conspiracy theories?
Actually, I do have a conspiracy theory I'd like to talk about. Firstly, this might be a bit of a blindside, but how do you respond to these recent allegations that you're a great big poof? I have heard this recently. Is this true? And what will the Christians say?
Lies, slander, and I will be talking to my lawyers after this. No, I respond to them anally. I respond to them orally. If anyone would like to accuse me of that sort of behaviour, they can meet me by the bins, just off George Square, every night. My phone number's up there if I'm not present at the time.
Take a number, yeah.
Mangus, how many gay friends have you got? Because I feel like you are quite a little magnet.
Oh, I probably most of them. I don't know.
Well, I've met your mates, and most of them are quite heterosexual. Are you accusing them of being closeted?
Oh, no, the closeted ones don't stay very closeted.
Sorry, I'm looking around the room at your producers and just trying to guess which one's a poof.
Man,
Because we will smell them out. We will smell them out.
I smelled them out ages ago. They're both gay as Christmas. But it's not good for business.
I think we should do like a McCarthy trial.
Oh yeah, we'll have some
like
witch
a
trials.
Salem witch trial, and we can burn the gay at the stake.
And then at the end we'll press them, but not with rocks.
Ooh, that's just a bit of friction.
Yeah.
for them. That would be nice.
You know that one?
Can you do that voice a little bit more?
Oh, what, this one?
Yes.
That's the daddy voice. I can't bust that one out of here.
I'd love you to bust it out.
Oh yeah. Hello. You've been a good girl. You know what? That's great. You could do that one for like, yeah. I was just watching Alfie the other night to reacquaint myself with my life philosophies. Full of that good stuff. Yeah, you make a married woman laugh. You're halfway there with her, but don't try that with a single bird, mind you, because a laugh's all you'll get. You've not seen Alfie?
Sorry, I did say to Mangus before we started this that I would allow dead air for things that I didn't find funny.
Oh, great.
This feels like
Just
straight
edit
people
that
stuff.
out. Thank you.
Edit that out. Yeah, cut that silence down.
Sorry, straight humor.
Oh God, tough crowd.
We're in
Jesus
Edinburgh, for
Christ.
God's sake.
I
You
know.
can't do that here in Edinburgh.
You can't possibly.
No,
I my favourite thing in Edinburgh, and it's made me become. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, but I do feel the same sort of anger that like a racist feels, like that sort of inherent xenophobia,
Right.
But I feel that for straight white comedians doing a solo hour. And I think if I were to change the Edinburgh Festival Fringe in any which way, I would make it so that if you were a straight white guy doing a stand-up hour, just an hour of you being like, women, my mum, my mates at the pub. I think what we should do
the
is
difference between cats and dogs.
what's the deal with kind of stuff.
Right.
I think we should have like a Takeshi's Castle style assault course.
Like it's a knockout.
Knockout, American's Greatest Warrior. And I think when you come into Edinburgh Waverley, if you're straight, like you sort of get zhuzhed over to one side, and then you have to do the assault course.
And what? We only get one winner, like so that all together we just get one straight white hour.
Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? That'd be good.
Well, I assume that this is what you're doing is to try and like lower the numbers, or if they all had their own hub. They can, we can segregate them.
What would we put there?
All the
A Greg's. We would put a can of
foosball table,
a foosball table, cheap shots.
Oh yeah,
cheap shots.
Oh, and a calendar with a bunch of cars in it.
Or tits.
Yeah.
Big titty calendar.
Yeah, but I don't want them like having any kind of monopoly on the tits because everybody loves tits.
That is true. Everybody does love tits.
Yeah. You heard it first here, folks.
Everybody loves tits.
That's right. If you leave a comment down below if you love tits, which you do. So leave a comment.
I feel like maybe this podcast would do much better if we did have just some norks. Like, have you seen like on TikTok?
Everything would. The post office would do better if there were
videos. There's like Subway Surfer underneath, like a mobile game, and then on top is the actual content.
Yes.
I think what we should do with this podcast is just hear... producers, if you're listening, here, we should just have a big pair of tits. Yeah. Just a gargantuan...
Well, the green screen's coming tomorrow. Yeah.
And that won't be anything coming once you start...
Once the Norks start going. Fabulous. Yeah. Just a big pair of bouncing boobs in there. I mean, the ratings would go through the roof, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you'd get watchers, but Magus, do you really...
Yes, Arden.
Do you really want people having a semi to this podcast?
Well, I have already. I'd feel a sense of solidarity.
That's nice. Yeah. We could all be one in our blood rushing through.
Yeah,
but it does feel like a very podcast thing to end up talking about penises, doesn't it?
Well, it's that straight white thing again.
Yeah. Talking about dicks.
But I'm here to talk queer.
Okay,
let's get down to the nitty gritty of the.
Dun.
Yeah.
Queer time.
Yeah.
Queer talk with Mangus Danga Mangus and
we're
Aidan
here,
Sadler.
We're queer. We're making inquiries.
Yes. All right. Mangus, what do you need to know?
I want to talk about your big gay after party. I want to talk about, you and I have known each other since, for the last, I met you here at Edinburgh 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
right in this very establishment
What a
in
long
the
2
artist
years
bar.
it's been. How
It has.
strange is that?
Well, so much of it has been apart, and I miss you terribly
I miss
when
you
you're not
terribly
around.
too. I miss you. Hold on.
You were first doing. It was when you were doing. It, look, I hope I'm not talking out of school here, but I want to talk about the story of when you were first doing Tropicana.
You always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe it.
Like
Oh
2
yeah,
years ago.
yeah. Oh my god. So I mean, I've basically for those of you who don't know me, and if you don't know me, catch up.
Get on the
Get on.
get
Just
it
give
together.
us a Google. I'm a cabaret artist. I produce all of my own work. I'm very grassroots. I'm very queer. It's just coming up with dumb shit and finding a way to put it on stage and not go bankrupt. Essentially, is what it is. There's no big sort of chambers management or no big like company behind me. And when I first met you, I was doing a show in a 132 seater theatre, and it was very very lonely to be doing a solo show to 132 people. It was even more lonely doing a solo show in a 132 seater theatre to fucking 12 people.
Yeah.
So I remember I was a little bit down in the dumps, as I so rarely am. And I turned around to you and I said, Mangus Danga Mangus, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
You were doing a great show, and you had put so much into it, and it was. I remember at the time there was a couple of days. There was like 3 days in a row, and I would see you, and each day would be progressively a bit more sad.
If that ain't the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
It's just a descent into sadness, isn't it?
Well, this is still essentially week 1,
Yeah.
which is why we're still full of piss and vinegar.
Are you?
But yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck. Good
I
work.
drank
Well done.
3 liters of piss and vinegar before I got. Yeah, I'm not going to start a vinegar without a bunch of piss in me.
No, that'd be
You
a
kidding?
waste. That'd be a total waste.
So it was. I saw you one day, and you were like, "Yeah, I think this is good."
It's
And then
that
next day,
Edinburgh
like,
thing, isn't it? It's that Edinburgh thing where you go,
Yeah.
how's it going? And if someone goes, oh, it's going really
Yeah.
well. Oh, I'm having such a good Edinburgh. I love being in this city.
All the sights and sounds.
Oh,
It's wonderful.
everything's going so excellently for me. And then you go, how are you actually? And then they just sort of evaporate,
Yeah.
just sort of into a lovely little puddle
Yeah,
on the
a dust
on
of
the,
disappointment.
yeah,
yeah.
the dust of disappointment.
But
But
the story does indeed have a happy ending, because we were talking about this, and at the time you were very close. You said, "This is before you started calling me Mangus Danga Mangus." This is back when you were using my real name.
Yeah.
yeah. You said, "Magnus, I don't know. I think I'm just close to giving up." And you had your flyers.
Oh,
and you were
God.
walking around.
oh god,
And I said, "No."
yeah.
Cease
Yeah.
and desist.
Yeah.
Because I could tell immediately how fucking fabulous you were. I said, just go out there and go talk to some people.
Yeah, just convince them.
Just convince them.
Forcibly.
I mean, you're a very
unconsensually.
compelling individual.
Get in their fucking faces.
Yeah.
And tell them how goddamn good you are.
Yeah. Find out who the homophobes are, and then go and, yeah.
You know, my favorite,
them.
and this is a thing called spruiking for the people
Yes.
at home that don't know what sort of there's flyering and there's spruiking. Spruiking
Yeah.
is more like an interactive elevator pitch of theatrics, and flyering is handing somebody a
Comedy
single
about
piece
death.
of paper that
Comedy
they are
about
then
death.
going to move
Yeah.
directly into a bin.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's particularly for that run, it just went fucking bananas. And
Right.
that's when all like more 5-star reviews and we just carried on. Well, it just and it also made it a lot easier. I think it made it a lot easier because there's one thing standing looking sad, and there's another thing. I don't know if you get this when you're doing it, but you're almost entertaining yourself.
Yeah.
While you're doing it,
Yeah, absolutely.
there is a level of sort of trying to push people's buttons and trying to force a smile out of someone that like really
Yeah.
doesn't want to be spoken to.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, you passed the torch down to me, and I remember we would bump into each other while we were doing it
Yeah.
and do it together.
So fun.
And now my favourite spruiking pitch is very heterosexual cabaret. Come to this very, very heterosexual cabaret. And it works every time.
Yeah.
People hate the gays.
And of course, well, I mean, it's not like people could, see you there. I mean, you're a fabulous ambassador for heterosexuality everywhere.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've really been working on it.
People look at you going, oh, this is what heterosexuality has become. I got to see what the hell this cabaret is all about.
There is a pipeline, isn't there? There is a pipeline of. Do you not know this? So in fashion, fashion particularly, the gays will do something,
right,
and then probably about a year later, the sort of straight women will start doing something.
Yes, yeah.
And then the following year, it'll come into fashion with the straight boys, which is by the time that the gays have moved on to something else.
Right.
So skinny jeans, that was us. Quiffs, hipster beards, that was us.
Yep.
This kind of thing of like, well, I mean, if...
You don't see the straight boys voguing
I would
constantly.
love to see a straight boy voguing. I would love Mangus.
What do you think? Actually, what do you think it would take? What kind of? I mean, what would it take to try and get a bunch of like Essex lads on a Friday night to go out like voguing?
Gotta go, Bo, Amaro, Dietrich and DiMaggio.
Yeah.
What would that rap in Madonna's Vogue be for straight people?
Oh my gosh,
Maradona. And I'm thinking of football players, so like, and Ed Sheeran walking to the pub at night.
Jesus Christ! I am not representing the straight people for. I don't know any of the
yeah,
shit.
but
like
Mangus,
football, that's
I
not
look
me.
at you and I do think you have always given off this like raging bisexual energy.
I'm very honored. That's very nice. I had the most wonderful thing. There's a friend of mine's she's a trans comedian, and she said, "You got a very like trans man energy."
Ooh,
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah,
I see that.
Right. So I was like, "What?" I'm not exactly sure what that means. I mean, I'm sure it's something nice you're saying. But, they explained it. They said, "Well, you're clearly a man by choice." Like this could have gone a lot of different ways.
Is that
and
part of
you've
your
chosen
process? So you blink the blood out of your penis every morning for
Right.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we never finished your hour of waking up.
Oh yeah.
How long does it take you to decide that you're going to be a man that day?
Oh, it's well. I mean, that's decided for me because all the pocket squares are laid out in front. Yeah, I'll spend the next 20 minutes picking out a pocket square.
I'm really sorry, and I'm only leaning into this because this is a heterosexual space. If this were a queer podcast, I wouldn't be making these jokes. But I do think a pocket square is a bit.
It's a bit
lesbian.
dandy.
It's a bit lesbian.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's in the back pocket.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's at the front, I'm pretty sure this is.
I love. You know what I love? I fucking love a lesbian in a blazer.
Oh my God. So do I.
You get me a lesbian. You pop her in a
Get it
blazer
right now. Quick.
Someone call for a lesbian.
We are. Well, we're in Edinburgh Fringe. I don't think it's going to take very long.
Somebody. I've just made them facepalm by me ordering a lesbian in this studio.
It should be very easy. I mean, this is. I mean, we're at the.
Hey, can't
artist
swing a
bar.
cat for a
And
fucking lesbian, can
Jesus
you?
Christ.
Hannah Gadsby's outside. She's going to be in next.
That's our next guest, the fabulous Hannah Gadsby. Getting her in a blazer is not an easy feat, though. She's very much into the comfortable dress.
Yeah, a t-shirt and
It's clogs and cardigans exclusively.
And cardigans. That is a different genre of lesbian.
That's,
though, isn't it?
yeah. I'm, I like the power tool lesbians.
Yeah.
Big fan of the butch lesbian, the kinds that give you a headlock when they say hello. Yeah.
I was on a beach in Brighton, and I got
Hey, can you say that? Start the story again, but all like ASMR, because this sounds that just the alliteration alone is beautiful.
I was on a beach in Brighton. I was on a beach in Brighton. I was on a bitch. I was being a bitch on a beach in Brighton with my best friends. I was on a beach in Brighton. I was pissing off a lesbian, as you do. I'm one of those people.
For fun.
I simply must piss off a lesbian.
Yeah.
Brings me great joy. And what I didn't realise was that she was actually a professional wrestler. And I pissed her off to such a point. I kept doing a thing where I was interrupting myself. So we'd start. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And we'd start. Oh, sorry. 1 second. We'd start just with like every time that she. Excuse me. Do you mind? Just every time I try and talk to her. Just, excuse me. And suddenly I feel the full force of this lesbian tackle me on Brighton Beach.
Oh, no rage like butch rage.
Oh, and you know what? I always say I'm not gay in a sense that I am
What the
attracted.
fuck?
I'm not gay in a sense. Let me finish. I'm not gay in a sense that I'm attracted to men, but I do find myself very attracted to like queer people. I think
right.
like on a greater spectrum,
Yeah.
it's not so binary as like only attracted to one certain man or one certain type of man. And when I was struggling and writhing in the cold stones of Brighton Beach with this woman pressing my body hard against those cobbles, I suddenly thought I could be aroused by this.
Oh, yeah.
I might be aroused by this.
It's nothing like a struggle snuggle.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Wait, a struggle snuggle.
You don't know that one?
No, tell me.
Well, it's post-surrender. You talk about that in like BDSM circles. It's a thing called post-surrender, right?
Post-surrender.
Yeah, like if you get turned on by being overpowered by somebody.
It feels very Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
We are young. Yeah.
tell us we're love.
Oh yeah, God, that's a fucking. That is a bonjour.
Don't get me started.
Absolute
The rest of this
bonjour.
podcast will just be me singing Pat Benatar.
Oh my God! Oh, we need to get some of that on here.
Love
Yeah.
is a battlefield.
Oh. Do you know I was a karaoke host for it was about 7 years, and there was one of the managers at the amazing Vegas style, the hell themed Vegas style diner that I would host rock and roll
There is
karaoke.
so
in.
much to this, Mangus.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've got a history, baby. Yeah. But one of the managers, that was her go-to. She would sing, "Love is a Battlefield."
Well-
And, oh my God, bring the house down.
Sing it well.
Oh yeah. Oh, she
Yeah.
was amazing. Oh, she's in the music industry as well. Yeah.
As are most
This
people
was
that
kind of a
work in karaoke.
Yeah, in Perth, Australia, the biggest
Australia.
little mining town in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had, we did some big guests. I had John Paul Young come in one time.
Should I know who John Paul Young is?
You ever, love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, he was actually trying to be incognito. He was sitting in one of the booths having a fucking cheeseburger, and one of his entourage put his name into the karaoke list.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
Did he do that?
Did he do what?
Love is in the air.
Well, this is, way to fucking pop the story before I even get to it. Jesus fucking Christ. Have you been in
Christ,
theatre?
get to the fucking point. Have we got somewhere else to be? Come on.
Oh, man. It was I tell you what, he was a lovely guy because he was trying to eat his cheeseburger. One of his entourage slipped his name in, and I didn't know he was there. So when somebody said John Paul Young, I'm like, yeah, right. John Paul Young is in the fucking place. Lol, whatever. John Paul Young, come on up. And then, of course, John Paul Young came up. And I was like, oh my God, sorry, sir. And I kind of looked him up and down. He was clearly not really all that enthused about coming up. And I kind of off mic, I'm like, look, thank you so much for coming out. Look at all these people out here. They're very excited to see you. So what is it you'd like to sing? And he looks at me with this kind of face. He goes, yeah, love is in the air. and I looked at him and I totally understood instantly the kind of pain that he felt. And I went, well, thank you for your service. Yeah. And he played it, and of course he brought the house down.
I think it's an interesting thing being a one-hit wonder. Assuming he's a one-hit wonder, I can't think of any other songs that he did. I might be
clearly, you're the arbiter of cultural value, and if you only know his one song, then that qualifies.
70s, 60s.
Oh God, I don't know. It's a long time ago.
But I'm sharing a venue, or was sharing a venue. She only did a short run. The person before me was a lady called Sandy Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know Sandy Tom, she did Oh, I Wish I Was a Punk Rocker with Flowers in My Hair.
Oh, right.
77, 69. And it was this weird thing, and nothing against Sandy Tom, obviously, but the venue had asked her to do an hour-long show, and obviously she's only famous for that one song. She had her moment in, let's say, 2008 or something. She had this big global hit. Everyone knew it, sort of folky kind of vibes. And it was this interesting thing of like, they had asked her to do an hour, but she's a musician, so there's no jokes. and they'd asked her to tell stories in between the songs, but most of them were like stories of the road. So she'd do a song, not the one that you know. Obviously, she did that at the tippy end.
Well, yes.
You would, wouldn't you? Keep people in the fucking room.
I mean, you don't do it in the first 5 minutes,
God,
so you're going to have a big empty room.
It'd peak early, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? It feels premature. And suddenly, in between the songs, I was just poking an ear out, and it's like, so we went up to Glasgow the other day, and everything's changed in Glasgow. It's very expensive in Glasgow. It's very expensive now. People are moving to Glasgow. So anyway, this next song is it was just this solemn room. It's like, why have they gotten her in there? It's just, it was a very peculiar experience.
Did she do a Q&A?
No,
I mean, there was no interactions at all?
No, if I were in there, I'd fucking heckle her. I'd be like, oi.
I'd heckle the shit out of her because of that. I mean, that song always bugged the crap out of me. How many punk rock girls, with flowers in their hair?
Yeah.
I think she's getting her genres very, very muddled.
Unless the flowers are from rolling around being a punk rocker. Imagine being so happy you're a punk rocker, you go to a lovely orchard, and then you roll around in that orchard and you get all the flowers in your hair.
I think you instantly stop being a punk rocker at that point. If you become very happy about it, I'm so pleased with my existence.
The amount of gel that you wear, the flowers would stick quite easy, wouldn't
I guess
they?
you just have to walk past a jacaranda tree and bam, it would just happen on
You'd
its
be
own.
fine. I mean, maybe that's what it's about. It's about a punk rocker sort of skulking around bushes and the flowers. What are we talking about, Mangus? How did we get here? Honestly, I was outside.
It's called attention deficit disorder.
I know.
It's
I was outside
fabulous.
and I was like, I am dreading where this podcast is going to go because
No.
Because for listeners at home, Mangus and I are both terribly adahudda. Are you medicated?
Not right now.
Yeah,
no.
neither am I,
No.
which is terrible for this.
I heard a recent one. It's we're even better than ADHD. We're 84K.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah,
It's got jokes.
Ding ding
Ding ding.
ding ding.
Very nice. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. I love that. Sorry for the listeners that aren't watching the video feed. Mangus has just wrapped his legs seductively around this old Chesterfield.
Actually, hang on. I've got to work with the body language here because here we go. This
that's
is how
nice.
you know that I'm attracted to you.
Oh, that's nice.
And that I'm
Just
not an
framing
imam.
Framing
Yeah.
it nicer as well, isn't it?
So, how is this? Does this all look good? Just
Does it look
nod
good?
to the
Is
producer?
it nice?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
We're getting the ring of goodness.
We started by talking about my show.
Yeah.
We started by talking about my show. And how the fuck did we get to rolling around, being a punk rocker, rolling around in bushes?
I know. Isn't it great?
Isn't that terrible?
We can have like 6 or 7 conversations on the go. and just come
shelf
back
one,
to
pull another one out. Yeah, that's nice.
It's like having a bunch of leftovers, right? And you just like
But
it's like
the thing
hors d'oeuvres,
that I don't
conversational
like
hors
about
d'oeuvres.
that, particularly when it's a recorded medium, is that I'm going to leave this room and go, I didn't talk about that. Oh, God, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. I'll have like afterthoughts. So if we could wrap all of them up in the next 20 minutes.
Oh, geez. Okay. So what have we covered so far? I mean, I'd like to talk about your show. I mean, you want to talk about Big Gay After? I mean, when this comes out, who knows when it will come out?
It'll be fucking dead in the dirt, wouldn't it? It'll be over. Who
It'll be-
cares?
It'll
Who
be
cares? Bin it.
But I do want to talk about, how it all came to be and, what the history of you.
Oh my
the
God.
origins.
My origin stories. If you actually want to get into like my origin stories, did you know? Right. So, working in cabaret, I've only been doing it really for about 3 years now. 3 years.
I remember this when we first started talking. I went, "Oh my God, this goddamn rocket ship of a talent
I'm a
has
baby.
only started." Yeah, it's
I'm a
only
tiny
just
baby.
begun.
Yeah. But I did start like quite late on in life because after school, I basically flunked out of school with like terrible grades. Don't act surprised. You knew that this would happen. Look at me. Look, what part of this makes you think, that's an intellectual?
I just thought if I gasped, then it would provoke you to tell me more about the story.
You don't need to provoke me.
Okay.
I'm primed and provoked.
You didn't have an easy time at school.
No.
What the fuck?
You know what? Believe it or not, I actually did.
Really?
I had a well easy time in. Well, I had a bad time in lessons, obviously,
People
but because
pleaser.
I was just like a loud gay, all the girls quite liked me.
The girls would look after
And
you.
then the straight boys would be terrified of not being invited to the parties that the girls were having, so they all had to be nice to me.
Wow. Oh,
Isn't
geez,
that
you
nice?
just found the cheat codes.
Yeah. And if there are any young homosexuals out there watching this podcast, I'll have that framed for camera 3, please.
Make friends for the mean girl. Yeah,
Make
right down the
friends.
barrel
Make
there.
friends with the mean girls. Don't be weird. No, I'm not going to tell young gays not to be weird.
Yeah,
Carry on
that's
being
not
weird,
really-
actually. That's bad advice, isn't it? Stop being yourself. Put on a character.
Yeah.
Hide every morsel of who you are as a person.
Mask
Mask.
like the wind.
Mask.
Furiously.
Play many
Don't let
characters.
anybody know who the fuck you really
Yeah,
are.
I mean,
it will be disastrous.
Is that not what we get paid to do for a living, man?
Well, we do now because we're out of school. We don't have to deal with that shit.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I came out of school and then I was a pest controller for 6 years. Do you know this?
What?
Yeah, I was a pest controller. I was a rat catcher. I was a mass murderer.
Oh my gosh! You know that actually does explain quite a bit.
Don't say the word pest. If you say the word pest, Mangus.
No, I was going to say inhalation of arsenic and things like that.
Yeah, maybe it all got to my brain.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, it
that's,
doesn't go anywhere else.
maybe that's why I'm special. All them chemicals. All them tasty
All them chemicals.
Oh yeah, bit of rat poison. I'll pop that up my nose.
Do you mean hose candy?
Oh,
Yum. One for you, one for me. Right.
and it hasn't killed me yet. Every morning, see your 20-minute ritual is blinking the blood out of your
And
cock.
yours is sucking.
Mine's sucking rat poison up my snoot, seeing if it'll get me any closer to
No
sweet
rats
release.
up here.
You know?
There we go. The results speak for themselves.
I do feel like I have a worm-infested brain now, though, which is
You got
nice.
brain worms.
I got the brain worms.
Well, I mean, whatever these brain worms have crafted and created, it's certainly been good for everyone around you who's gone to see your show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Robert F. Kennedy, he's just constantly trying to. You know, Robert F. Kennedy's got brain worms.
What do you mean? Like, literally has brain worms?
Yeah, it died in his brain.
Really?
Yeah. He's a presidential nominee, Robert F. Kennedy. Kennedy has got a worm wrapped up in his brain, all dead, which is a shame for him.
And they can't extract it, of course.
Of course not. But
Without
it's
extracting the
a shame
entire
for
brain.
him, but fucking hilarious for us, and a big
yeah.
win for the worm lobby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what was
If you-
it?
if you-
Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme would have to be supporting him now.
Yeah, of course. You've got worms in your brain.
If anyone doesn't know who Vermin Supreme is, and there's a UK guy who
Just Google him on
just Google
particularly
Vermin
Google
Supreme.
images, because I think once you see what he looks like, you can kind of tell the context clues of his whole shtick.
I'm so glad that Vermin Supreme we didn't have to explain that between each other. We're definitely both on that same
What
page.
you mean us unlovable weirdos?
Yeah,
us
yeah.
and weird little guys that are just trying their darndest.
I imagine that many of the stalwart listeners of the podcast are probably already aware of
that
Vermin
is the
Supreme.
demographic.
Yeah, Vermin Supreme. The Venn diagram of listeners of this and people who know who Vermin Supreme are. It's basically a circle. Yeah. That switches between purple and green.
I adore that.
Constantly
I adore
strobing.
that.
But no, we were on something special because you were at school making friends with mean girls.
Yeah.
In order to protect your blossoming homo action.
Yeah.
And be invited
Blossoming
to parties.
Homo Action, the debut
Blossoming
single by Aidan Sadler. Oh, you should see my blossoming Homo Action. I'm blossoming.
Ram Ranch. Yeah. So you were in school. It was bad, and then
I left school and joined
you were
the family
presumably
business.
you're just like out already, in school.
I mean, I was actually outed by my school counsellor, which is a fun story. She was a lovely lesbian lady. She used to dress how I could only describe
Clogs and cardigans.
clogs and cardigans. She was mothballs. You know what I mean? She was a mothballs lesbian.
Yeah.
It was all like very 70s, sort of very like what you'd think like a feminist would look like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Is what she looked like.
Right.
And she turned around to me one day and she was like, You're flunking out of every single fucking subject that you're studying.
Yeah. What are you, a big gay?
I think that was exactly what she said, actually,
flunking
Mangus.
every subject.
What
You
are
must
you,
be
some sort of
homosexual.
fucking gay? couldn't possibly be because you're thick. No, it was, and she was like, "Oh, the only subjects you're doing well in are English and theatre." To be fair, the context clues are there. A kid that is only half decent at English and theatre, they like reading and tarting about on stage. That's got to be a gay boy.
I'm going back through my own school history, and there's a surprising familiarity with what you're saying there.
Oh no.
Yeah, English and theatre. What? How come I missed out on whatever the gay gene is? I'm still straight as an arrow. I'm not really.
The community's missing out, really, aren't they?
Oh, like we could still hang out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Doing your part. I really appreciate it.
For just 20 cents a day, you too can help a gay have a social life. Fucking hell. I'm a river unto my people. Yeah. But okay, don't let me distract you from the fabulous origin stories.
Oh, so
you were outed by your counselor.
Yeah, so she
what, she put out an email and just said
she called my parents. Well, no, so I was.
She called your parents.
Yeah, I was already out to my mates because luckily in the school that I was in, being gay wasn't really that much of a hullabaloo.
Yeah.
And I'd already been mates with like a lot of girls, so it was like quite chill.
Yeah.
And she said, "Do you think the reason that you're flunking out of school is because you've got this big dirty secret, big naughty dirty secret? You're big,
Your big throbbing, dirty,
throbbing secret." And I said, "I don't know." So she said, "Okay." So she went behind my back and she called my mum and she said, "Aidan's got something that they need to tell you about. Aidan's got something they need to talk to you about."
Yeah.
So we met in the garden centre, and I froze.
Did you say you met in the garden centre?
Yeah. Do you know what a garden centre is?
Is it like a nursery for plants?
No. Yeah. But
like
they
a
sell
botanical
them.
garden.
They sell them. It's
like a Bunnings.
Yeah, like a Bunnings.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
A Bunnings.
Just a Bunnings. There's no other. Is that not just the name of the shop?
Yeah, but they've become so they've just taken
synonymous.
Over. Yeah, we don't have any other hardware.
What would you call them before the Bunnings?
A nursery.
A garden centre.
A nursery.
A nursery's for children.
Yeah, but it's a plant nursery.
Oh, we're gonna have a row.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
We've
one of those
taken
fun
your
cultural
language,
exchanges.
and we and my convict friends have turned your language into a giant pile of garbage.
Christ, the colonies. Have you not done enough to that poor
It is not
fucking
for
island?
better graces and the influence they bring that I take my leave of old Blighty and start talking bollocks.
What was that?
And for all their murders I've done.
Yeah, all those natives, what we got rid of. I've been talking to some Aboriginal people recently.
Oh yeah, here at the Fringe?
Yeah, I recently found out this is probably way too dry to talk about on the podcast.
We can talk about this.
I recently learned about the stolen generation, which I think is very, very interesting, very terrible.
It's very
terrible, but very interesting nonetheless. Can you believe that we don't learn about that in the English curriculum?
Yeah, you probably don't.
We learn a lot about the conquering, not a lot about the crimes.
Yeah, Australia's gotten slightly better at that. Now we teach school kids about the horrible things that have happened in the past, like testing nuclear weapons on native land and First Nations people just being just stealing a generation.
Isn't it terrible?
Yeah, it's fucked. It's really fucked.
So anyway, I was a gay boy in school. Just thought I'd pull the energy out of this podcast before I zhuzh some more in.
Yeah.
I met up with my mum in the Bunnings, and I froze up. She said, I had a very concerning phone call from the school, and they said, "You've got something that you wanted to tell me."
Why did you pick the garden centre to do this?
All right, so she had picked the counsellor.
Was the counsellor there?
Centre. No, I was completely riding fucking solo, if I'm being honest. And I sat.
So your school counsellor calls your mum up and says, "Oh, look, I'm going to set a trap here." Wait, was this candid camera or something?
Honestly, I feel like it could have been.
Yeah.
I feel like I had been royally set up.
It sounds like your counsellor's a secret kink for outing little
baby gays.
Fucking hell, yeah.
So yeah, then I came out to my mum, and she wasn't very happy about it, but she's really grown to the idea since I've started capitalising off of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Once it's not well,
The money I make,
you've made dozens of dollars in this game.
at
haven't
least
you?
12.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you figure that's one of those things that, was your mum more worried that you would have a hard time? Is that what worried
I think
her?
it was a little bit of that, and I think she wanted grandchildren as well, which is like quite a natural sort of biological thing that the parents have. I obviously want kids, so it's not really that much drama. We've just got to figure out how to pull one out of someone.
Yeah, yes.
Because we haven't, us homosexuals haven't figured out how to do that bit yet. And can I just say, when we do, it's fucking Jova for you lot.
Oh my gosh.
Game over.
It's gonna
the
be,
gays know how to reproduce. And I have been doing
it'll be a brand new baby boom.
I have been doing my experiments.
Oh yes.
I have been seeing what different ways that we can try and put that up a man.
Oh yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet.
How much population paste does it take to make a baby out of a man?
Don't just throw that word into a sentence and think that I'm going to just brush past population paste.
Oh, well, that's, the
Cum.
baby batter.
That's cum, baby.
Yes.
That's cum.
That's cum, baby.
That's cum.
We do know you need that. I mean, that's a vital ingredient. So,
I would love. I keep having these dreams, Mangus.
I know when you point at me and you say, I have these dreams. I don't know why I keep appearing. Am I appearing in your dreams again?
No, but
okay.
I think you'll like what is appearing in my dream.
Oh, yeah. Let's get Jungian.
I keep having these dreams about AI and VRs. And the whole population, once the apocalypse has become us and the world has ceased to have livable life, and I keep having these dreams about these sort of VR. It's all a little bit Matrix.
Yeah,
it's all a little bit Matrix, and
I'm familiar with it.
Everyone continuing their lives in the ether, in the cloud, or the technologically, and I think having living digitally is the next big thing that's about to happen.
We could all become digital Methuselahs.
Zeros and ones.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be invited. I'm non-binary.
Is this whole thing a goddamn setup?
It wasn't. That was great. That was nice though, wasn't it?
That was very nice.
That made me laugh.
And the timing was wonderful.
Yeah, I've been having dreams about that. What do you think? Doctor?
Gosh. I mean, it's exciting that we'd have. If you read some Harlan Ellison, I mean, I really like the idea of it. What would I'm not sure you could ever quite get all the way. There's some very, very good things about being, a meat puppet.
Yeah, I do quite enjoy it. Although the aches and the pains.
Yeah.
I don't think those would make their way to the simulation.
Some of the pains have to stay if I'm ever going to go in there.
Oh, hello. If you were to be in charge of continuing human life on the cloud, what would you leave at home?
Oh, just the morons. Yeah,
just bad people. So you would say no, you're not invited to our party. If I
were the emperor, the golden emperor of humankind, and got to decide who would and would not, continue with us into Wonderland, that is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
it's a terrible idea. I mean, A, my brain is all over the place, and B, I've got some. There's some really weird. I get stuck on bureaucrats.
Yeah.
I would all the boring people.
Yeah,
they'd be gone.
I'd get rid of mold.
Mold. Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, that's fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
I used to think we should get rid of mosquitoes.
I did recently read a study that the climate wouldn't be too terribly affected if mosquitoes were to.
No, see, this is it's a myth. I've thought mosquitoes were just there, to bite us and be horrible and spread diseases. But it turns out mosquitoes are a gigantic pollinator.
Really?
Heaps and heaps of species of plants.
Yeah. Fuck them.
So now we've still got it. Yeah.
No, fuck them.
Yeah, just get them.
Get rid.
Get them gone.
I mean, to be fair, the world is already dying. We are already in the later stage.
Oh, this is the darkest timeline possible. Yeah. I mean, this is a dystopian nightmare.
This room isn't even lit like that. It's just warmed to that extent.
Yeah, these are just on fire corpses of orphan children.
We're in hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
It's toasty though.
fuck it, get rid of mosquitoes.
Yep.
Fuck them. Hate
Right.
them.
I'm going to bring this one back to the conclusion of the story of the garden center. What happened after garden
God,
center?
we were talking about that, weren't we?
It's really
there's a
interesting.
producer shaking his head. Oh, he's so angry.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's like you two fucking
You invited
ADHD
me.
weirdos talking about
God,
mosquitoes
Mangus
for 20
touched
minutes.
me. Don't let him shake his head at us. We're
You
fine.
leave my poor guest alone. Don't you know what he's been through?
yeah,
he was outed by a lesbian
in
counselor
a Bunnings.
in a fucking Bunnings.
So-
He put up with all these years of hanging out with mean girls just to be outed in a Bunnings.
So then I came out to my mum, and it was really hard.
Yeah. And that's the basis of his next incredible solo show. I came out to my mum in a Bunnings.
How many people do you think have come out to their mums in a Bunnings?
Unless their mum is like
Working
already
in a
gay.
Bunnings. I was
Yeah.
working in a.
I was
I was
working
working
as a waitress in a Bunnings when I came out to you.
my mum.
Oh yeah, I think you'd be singing to your mum.
Yeah. So there's we're trying to get through my life story, but we've stalled at 15.
Jesus.
So then I was like a skater kid for a while. Look, we'll
You
just
were a
rush through
skater
it.
kid?
Shut up.
Oh my God, this is
We'll just
exciting.
rush through my fucking
okay.
life story.
Wait. Well, let me start this. And all right. Wait. We got one of this. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Oh, you've got sound cues.
Oh yeah. Look. Okay, there
Hello,
we go.
welcome to Aidan Sadler's life story. I came out to my mum in a Bunnings, and then I was a skater kid for a while, and then I bummed out of school, and it was shit, and then I didn't go to university because I weren't smart enough. So I joined the family business as a pest controller, and then I was a pest controller, and I was working for the council, and crawling around on my hands and knees in lofts, and then I was killing wasps, and that was very exciting. Don't interrupt me. And then I got really sad because I had dreams as a child, and I wasn't pursuing them, and it's been 6 years as a pest controller. And then after those 6 years, I became a full-time stoner. I smoked lots of weed, I had a lovely time, but I wasn't earning no money, and it was really, really sad. So then I quit that, and I was at Halloween party, and I was singing karaoke, and I sang Amy Winehouse, Valerie, and then an agent came up to me and said, "Oh my God, can you sing?" And I said, "Yes, I can sing." And she said, "Would you like to audition for my agency?" And I said, "Yes." So I auditioned for the agency. And then I went to work I got a last minute contract touring in Mallorca in Spain. I did 6-7 months of that, and I was suddenly working in the entertainment industry. And then I went on a UK tour, and then I signed a contract to work in Asia in 2020, January. Started the rehearsals for that. You know what else happened in Asia in January 2020? Fucking COVID. So that was all fucking cancelled. Then the pandemic happened, and I was really sad. But because I was really sad, I wrote a show about being really sad. It was called Tropicana, Aidan Sadler. Then I debuted it in 2021. But luckily, that was the half COVID year. There were only 300 fucking shows at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. So I sold out that show, and it won an award, and it got a shit ton of 5-star reviews. All of a sudden, I'm a full-time cabaret artist, and now I've done the West End in London. I've toured the UK, and this is my third year at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Fuck, that was quite easy, actually. I love talking about myself.
I think that's just about. My gosh. Well, we should have just done that at the start.
Yeah, I should have just given you like my Wikipedia article.
Do you have a Wikipedia article?
No, but I really want one.
All right, you heard it first. The first person to write a Wikipedia entry for Mr. Aidan K. Sadler. We say Mr. Aidan K. Sadler.
What's the non-binary Mister? I prefer
That's
Madam.
a good question.
I prefer Madam, yeah.
Well, if you prefer Madam it is. Folks, if you'd like to write a Wikipedia entry for Madam Aidan K. Sadler, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, we'll both buy you a drink.
And then we'll do hand stuff.
Yeah, behind the bike chair, and I'll film it because I'm not gay, but I just just want to help.
Just be involved.
Yeah,
It's a party.
I mean, that's a lot of that is basically who I am. I'm not gay, but I love being involved.
Yeah.
I'll stand behind you and throw glitter for sure.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
I should put you under my employ, shouldn't I?
Oh my God,
Should follow
everybody
me
should.
around. I'd also like to see you with a trumpet.
That's not a euphemism. You mean like literally a drum?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd be great at Yeah.
That's what I was sort of angling
Yeah,
at.
no, I would really enjoy that job. I'd like to follow around big famous gays with like a bugle.
Yeah.
And maybe like some heraldry and
Be a little
just
boogie
narrate
woogie
their
bugle
life.
boy.
Yeah. Like
Of
it was
Aidan
at this
Sadler.
point, Aidan Sadler sat there, right? on this fabulous leather chair, looked deep into the eyes of the host, and then, as he turned into camera 3, he said, "Good night, listeners."
Hey, if you're if you're out there right now, and you've made it this far into this here fucking podcast, I want to say, well done, good work. Would you want a fucking medal? Because I've got one for you. I got your little medal, right? And this is from me and Mangus Dankamangus. I want to say, you've been a really good boy today. You've been a really good boy. You've done really well. You did all the things that you set out to do. And if you didn't, there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. The most important thing that you can do is spend 1 hour a day, listening to a lovely little podcast made by a little Caucasian straight man. Isn't he nice? He's got a funny moustache as well. And what you can do is you can follow him on social media. You can leave a review for the podcast. Oh, Mangus would love a review, wouldn't you, Mangus? Oh, he'd love a review. You can follow me on all social channels at Aidan Sadler. I've also got a website. Oh, lovely little website, but I don't have no Wikipedia article. You better make me a little Wikipedia article. Yeah, good boy. Yeah.
You better get that Wikipedia article up sharpish. There's no drink for you. That's fabulous.
Yeah, no, was that all right?
If we're going to be that close and not kiss each other, I mean, it's the end of the episode.
Thank you so much for having me, Mangus. It's been a joy and a pleasure.
I've adored you ever since I first met you, Aidan, and the fact that you are now a glorious, glorious success, it really gives me the impression that I'm entirely responsible for all of your success in this. I really feel good. That was the main article of the story. But can you just, fix me. Fix me.
Sorry, for the audio listeners, I'm currently just caressing Mangus's upper face.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you wrap this up.
I'll get you upper face. Well, thank you very much, listeners. If you don't like Aidan K. Sadler, you can get the fuck out. Thank you very much, folks. And I'm going to give us a cuddle.
Oh, there we go. Right. Oh, why is he so damp?
Oh, why did you move me?
Okay.
Well, that's another great episode, folks. You're listening to Onwards to Victory, and we're going to get this one out when we get it out. And my gosh, if you're already at the Edinburgh Fringe, we're going to have so many fabulous new. Who do you think we should? Who else should we be interviewing? Who else should we have on the podcast? Have you got someone?
Who else should you have on the podcast? Yeah. I am going to recommend my mum. I think we should have my mum, but only if you host this podcast in a Bunnings.
Done. Thank you very much, folks. Good night.
Don't you know we all cheer for Madness Danger D?
What the fuck was that? That was just dreadful. You fucking asshole. I can't believe. What the hell was that meandering crap? Like, what a bunch of shit. I'm trying to craft a legacy here. You fuck.
Did you have a normal conversation with Ruben, at least?